we have a very interesting conversation. Someone who's been with us, who's coming all the way from Kochi. We have an experienced filmmaker, an experience of a lifetime, over 3 decades. We have someone who has set up India's first integrated film school. He is a filmmaker of much acclaim. He is also the director of the Y64 documentary, surprise. So there's been a documentary that Beena and our guest of honor have been busy making. Yes, I will invite you. Please put your hands together to welcome Jain Joseph, the founder of the Neo Film School and the director of Y64 Yoginis documentary. Beena, I invite you also to initiate this wonderful conversation with Jain.
So, for last 3 days this is happening. So as Mansi was saying in the morning, it's reaching the crescendo of the whole 5-day event. And I don't know what have been talked and speak upon in last 3 days. So maybe you people also will have to help me in this dialogue. It would be better to be as a dialogue. But however, I'll just put a small framework where my thought goes on when I think of Yogini and when I started shooting Y64. So the title Y64 was given, actually it was a question like why 64? And it's WHY, Y64. So then I thought it could be a little trendy by using the initials Y64. But later on we realized that there is 64,000 crores yoginis, that is 64 billion yoginis. It's not just 64. We were coming across like 64 and 81 and limited numbers, but later on when the study went deeper down, we realized that when we say 64,000 crore, it's not countable. Maybe it's an equivalent for saying infinity, or there is an infinite number of yoginis. So my interest on this subject has started a little earlier during my college days, because more than my interest was in the dualities in life. So dualities in art, dualities in design, dualities in philosophy and spirituality. So I was always looking for these dualities. And as in life, we observe everything is like duality. Like even if you take a chocolate is bitter in taste and you add sugar into that. So it's the mix of opposites. And I myself is a cinematographer, a photographer who has been trained from Film Institute Pune. So there also I found that photography is all about mixing light and darkness. And when we come to music, again it's a mix and blend of sound and silence. If it's just a sound, it just goes on like it goes, and nobody calls it a music. Maybe it's a noise. So it's again mixing of silence and sound. So all my thought process was going on like that, and nearly at an age of 24, 25, after Film Institute, when my mother died, when I was alone, naturally I got into like more yogic practices and all, and things had gone little haywire. So I found that it is difficult to learn without a guru. So better I stopped that, and I dropped maybe after say 1.5 years. But those learnings and practices which I had at that time was much helpful when I landed up to shoot this documentary and in my discussions with Beena. So this is how it has already started. And regarding this duality, in our life, as I told about this chocolate, there's also day and night. and day and night, and the beautiful moments of this union. That's the most beautiful moments of that composition. Like we call Trisandhya, no? Evening. Evening is when the day meets night, and those moments of the twilight moments are the most magical. Even in our language of photography, we say it as like magical hour. The moment the sun has gone down, you can't see the sun, but you can still feel the light. That is the twilight moments, which we call magic hour, and yeah, of course, male and female, the most beautiful moments are again their union, even when they exist as two different entities. So, all these were in my mind, and yoga is again meaning union. So then the question comes like, what is the union? Which all are the duals participating in this union? Like this union called yoga. So all this has led to the scripting and the thought process of Y64, and it was so interesting. And I should say maybe we should start from here. And yeah, there are a lot more to say, but I don't know whether since this is the topic is little tough. I don't know which level, especially with more experts in front of me. I would rather reserve my comments and discussions to the questions you ask, so that I can just express my understanding and perception about it. It need not be the very right thing, but it can be my perception and my thought on the concept of yoginis. One thing which helped me to understand this is like, if I should, I'm a Christian by religion. So we have also in Bible there is this duality happening. Most of the time there is something called Song of Solomon. Song of Solomon is interpreted as the love song in Bible, and mostly nuns and priests wonder why this love song is in Bible, where we all are very Puritans and clean, and nobody talks about love, and this chapter is really making things difficult in the catechism classes. People come out with doubts from Song of Solomon, and many of the verses are cited in certain films also. Then again this will come up. But the thing is, when I also design museums. So recently, not recently, maybe 4 or 5 years back, I designed a museum for a Christian saint, where she had done nothing physically. It's all the mysticism which is involved. She's a saint who just prayed, nothing else. She didn't establish schools, she didn't establish hospitals. So for a museum, there is nothing to be shown, like what will we show, what will be the design. Then I got a book which was written in 17th century regarding their practices. So there it was well interpreted as the soul is this lover in that Song of Solomon, that human soul. Human soul is yearning to meet the goddess, the god. So that's again the yogic part of it. So it was easy for me to understand since I could see it from different angles. Then you get, like in maths we say, no, when there are more than one or more than 2 points, coordinates, it is easy to shape it up. If you are going only linearly towards something, you just go and you won't get a direction. But here I got like 2-3 points which are coordinates and which can pull it to its precise place. So these all are the things which help me in understanding this. And maybe Beena can ask me one more thing again about the duality. Suddenly it just came to my mind, like from the days when I was in Film Institute, we learned that art is all about like time, space and action. And I used to ask my professors, like, what exactly is this time, space and action? And it's defined by Aristotle, maybe in 5th BC. But actually those answers didn't satisfy me, so I was also thinking about that. And finally now I am very clear about that, like this time and space are the duals, and timing the space is action. So if I start a building, we have slightly bigger buildings for my school. So the moment I do, when a new space has been procured by us, the first thing I put is that I put a clock. I put a clock there, so it is my way of timing that space. And this is actually what is happening in our life also. I think the epitome of creativity is creating life. And when a sperm reaches an ovum, the time just come on and mates the ovum, and from that moment, the timing starts. From the pulsating moment, the timing starts, and when that pulse stops at some point of time, we call it death. So again, going back to the philosophical angle, I've just come across these two words called chronos and kairos. Chronos and kairos are two different times, the flow of times. And chronos, you must be knowing, like chronological order. We have learned in school, no? Like battle and quit India movement, and put it in chronological order. The word chronos come from that. Even our watch, which we wear was called chronometer earlier. So this is chronos, which has got a beginning and a end. Kairos is the flow of time which doesn't have a beginning or a end. So I could easily relate with Shiva and Kala Bhairava, which had happened earlier when we used to travel. When the moment I see this Kala Bhairava, I could understand that okay, there's a Kala defined in that. It relates to the chronos of it. There's a beginning and an end. And for Shiva, when it comes to like time, it's the primordial Shiva Shakti Shiva, which doesn't have a beginning or a end. So whichever the time flows inside us has got a beginning and a end. In Malayalam we say like kalam chedu, tirumeni mari kalam chedu na paraya. The word kalam means that period is over, like that there was a beginning and an end. So once I understood this flow of time, I could make out like the time has to meet a space. And there comes this point of Ardhanarishra, as per my perception. This is only as per my perception. This can be wrong. I think I can share this in this close group. This is not a teaching from my side. This is only my perception. So the time has to touch or enter into a space. And in my design, art and all, I call it like creativity and productivity. Because most of the people, you must have heard like talented people, it is difficult to live and make a living out of their talent. That is because they are only creative. Creativity happens in an obscure internal level. It is not physical, it is metaphysical. So if I create something inside me, I can create any world inside me. The question is, can you produce it? Because unless and until you produce it, nobody can experience it. And if nobody can experience it, nobody is going to respect or recognize or remunerate you. So these two are the duels which I am really dealing with every day with my students and myself with my projects. So when I design a project, it's creativity which is happening inside me, and my wife would ask me like, why are you sitting for the whole day today? Nothing has happened. But I know a lot of things have happened inside my head. So I used to really wish to have two LEDs on my head. One is like there will be a bulb outside the sound studio. When the recording is going on, there is a red glowing. So if I have some LED indicator like that, she will understand that a lot of things are happening inside. So that's the difficult part for a creative person, because his work, which is creativity, is not being experienced to the others. Another difficult part is like, when I create something, it has to be produced. Now the question is, who will produce it? So there I feel like this feminine and masculine energy inside me. It's like when I design something, when I visualize something, when I create a world inside me, when I have that vision, it's purely masculine energy which is working in me. And the moment I start to produce it, to delegate to people, to share the responsibilities to people skills, because during the time of creation, I am like Shiva, sitting idle without indicator, closed eyes, and people will think like, what is this guy doing all this time, sitting idle? And if he has something to do, he has to call forms of Parvati to execute, to delegate, to do it. I believe any CEO, whether he wear a suit, whether he is a masculine, epitome of masculine, the flamboyant CEOs which we see is rich with feminine energy. Because feminine energy is what makes them productive. There will be a visionary behind the organization who has founded it or who has strategies for it, but that is not visible. But there will be somebody who is executing it. To understand this, I think this male and female concept has to be understood in three layers. One is the form, one is like male and female form, as we all know. Second is the femininity and masculinity of it. Femininity and masculinity is the social construct of it. So that is the second level. And there is one more level which we need to understand, which is mostly not understood, I think, from whatever dialogues I've had with people. That is the feminine and masculine energy. It's only about energy. It's not about femininity, the social construct. It's not about the form, male and female. So these are the three levels. If we take an example, like if you take an electric fan, the fan is the form and it has got a motor inside. And this motor is same with fan or air conditioner or an electric vehicle. This motor is same. And there is electricity going into that energy. And that electricity is split into 12 again. So if we look at the bulb, which even though we call it as like positive and negative, it's actually positive and neutral for the flow of current. Current means flow. So it's the flow of energy. So this flow of energy is needed inside us. And I would say Ardhanarishwara, as morning I was talking with madam, I have only one difference of opinion in this, like Ardha means half, and it's not necessary that this is always perfectly half. It's a swinging, dynamically swinging to the opposites. Like sometimes you are masculine, sometimes you are feminine, and once we understand this, why I told you like this energy level has to be understood is like mostly people measure this on their femininity and masculinity, where you can go wrong. This is about the energy part of it. It's not like how you look like and how you feel like, how you interact with the society. Till then this femininity comes. But above that, Ardhanarishwara and the duality concept comes to the energy part of it, where it flows and it definitely swings between these two poles in every one of us. And as this pendulum swings and the needle goes forward, our life goes forward with creativity and productivity by swinging of this. So we have to really oil the machine and make it swing properly without any hesitation, so that our life will be smooth. This is what I would say as an introduction. Thank you.
So many happenings around. It was difficult for me to digest. So just 3 days back, I decided to keep my brains off. So when Jain asked me some questions, I'm not able to ask questions. Otherwise, I am the one who keep asking him questions. So this my mind
I think they also can ask questions, or if just comments, not questions. I would say.
So much about duality. The very name that you have, I would like you to comment that duality.
About Jain Joseph. maybe my father has this skeda of duality.
I know where it comes from now.
Yeah, because what he has told, or actually, my father died when I was 18 years old, because I'm eighth child, so he has all the right to die earlier. So,
Very logically put, I must say, deeply thought.
about the name?
No, about the eighth child, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, from the very first interview, the interviewers used to ask me this question. So, I really prepared well for this question. How come Jain and Joseph? Especially for companies, multinational companies and all, the people will be from north. So, they will ask, first question will be like, are you a Jain? No, I'm a Christian. Then how come Jain and Joseph? So, what I found is like the word Jain is a title given to Tirthagara. It's not the first name. It's a title given, and it means one who has got self-awareness about the consciousness. So I have to travel this travel,
I'm
you know.
glad I asked that question because I would never have thought of it in this aspect.
Yeah, that's how Jain Joseph comes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. In fact, I should be saying thank you not only for this, for the journey we had together, allowing or helping me to decode my own journey, putting into places. Sometimes you need people to ask questions or, redirect, and somebody whom you can trust. Sometimes you cannot trust, that doesn't come. So he has been, we started on Y64 after I finished my paintings. I wanted to do the documentary. So my interest was documenting the temple. And I thought some record should be there. So that is how I approached him, which he felt that this has to be a documentary and it is important you should be there. അങ്ങനെയാണ് ഞാനും അതിനകത്തൊരു ഭാഗമായ, otherwise it was to only document this temple. നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ recordically it should be there. That was the aim. And it moved, I think 3 years we worked. അഴിച്ച് പണിഞ്ഞ്, every time you go to a direction, suddenly you feel this is not it. We had several discussions, and I feel even book into a completion, I had lot of interaction with him to streamline my brain to, okay, this is the direction, okay, put things together. So it was a great journey with him, and if I want to have a discussion with him, that can go long. And he's a man who can talk about duality, that is split it into in so many areas. Thank you, Jain. Thank you so much. And we continue our journey because we have sent it our documentary to IFI. So we are looking for places.
It's completed. Part 1 is completed because it was a long journey for 3 years. So the moment we finished and packed it to Goa, then we are free, like at least for some time. It can always have an extension after it because the subject is really long, and it's not surfaced now. So if you want to excavate and mine it, there are a lot of things to be added to that as part 2 and 3 and all. Yeah, thank you.